get some phone calls in quickly. Virginia, Mike. Good to have you, Mike. How are you?
Well, Jim, I guess you could say catcher Reese McGuire wanted to show you his balls. And
That's not a good call. No.
You don't like that call.
I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
Boy, Alvin, you kind of panicked, but that's all right. It probably was not going to get any better. Alvin's like hovering over that button. Like I said, I used the analogy the other day, like no whammies, no whammies. Stop! Well, Jim, Reese wanted to show you. Stop! You got him, Alvin. Way to go, Alvin. All right, anyway, let's try it again. I thought we were going to have a good phone call day when I said we had 13 phone calls all lined up. Let's try Deer City, Michigan. Ray. Nice to have you, Ray. How are you?
How you doing, Jim? It's not Ray, it's Lee, but that's all right.
That's not a good call. No.
You don't like that call.
I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
All right, guys. Alvin, I think I know the answer, but we had his name wrong. So why did we run him? And I think I know what you're going to say, but what do you have to say for yourself? Wow. Hey, Hawk, why don't you put on your headphones so you and I can have a little chat? Adam? The hell is going on the other side of the glass? I can't do both at once. I can't both host the show and screen the calls and run the board. The hell is going on the other side of the glass, Adam?
Alvin and I are not on the same page right now. That's our fault, obviously. At all. What happened to Lee in Deer City is my fault. I heard Ray. I put him in as Ray.
I could see where you would. That sounds exactly the same in Lee and Ray.
It's not that easy to hear. There's a lot of stuff going on. I gave him the wrong one-syllable name. He should not have been hammered for that. That's on me. He had a good phone call, too. So I'm upset about that. Also, the guy that called right before had a punchline that I desperately wanted to hear about Reese McGuire wanting to show you his you-know-what and his you-know-what. And so I'm a little disappointed about that as well.
So maybe you have that conversation with Alvin and you kind of tip him off to, Alvin, this is where this guy is going to go. Let him say what he's going to say. Did you have that conversation with the guy to the side of you?
Yes.
Really? What do you have to say for yourself, Alvin? Come on over. Why don't you two switch spots for a minute? There's Alvin. Alvin's on camera, on microphone.
Hey, Jim.
Hello, Alvin. So what do you have to say for yourself?
So I did know the punchline. I knew what was coming, but mechanically, the caller failed. I could replay it if you want.
Explain to me how the caller failed mechanically. What does that even mean?
So he just left balls hanging for way too long. That's all it was. Can I replay it?
Oh, no, you've done enough. You've done quite enough, Alvin.
He said balls.
You know, I got
one
it,
1,000, two 1,000, three, and then I had to hit him.
Good job, Alvin. Thank you for doing your job. And as far as Ray in Deer City says, actually, Jim, it's Lee. And then you hammered him, and I said, I think I know the reason for that is, quote, don't correct the host. It's okay to correct the host. I'm wrong sometimes. I know you have my back, Alvin. But if I get a guy's name wrong, he's more than in the right to correct me. Like if somebody were to say to you, Alvin, if you showed up the DMV and somebody said, hey, Albert Delloro, would you not say anything? Or would you say, actually, my name's Alvin? Quote, Alvin said, radio time is very precious, so no, we're not going to have that correction. And you, Hawk, you were so distraught. What was that guy going to say that was so important that he did not get to say that made you so unhappy?
Lee in Deer City, he was going to threaten...
Ray, according to you, but yeah.
Ray, Lee, doesn't matter. I was all about the content. He was going to threaten to drive across Michigan and kick Jeff in Southfield's ass, which I was all about. Little threatened violence. Never hurt anybody.
Like meet you in Temecula?
Like meet you in Temecula, like meet you in Southfield. So I really wanted Ray to threaten Jeff because that would probably incite Jeff to call back, and then we get a new thread going, and I'm all about that.
Well, if you really wanted that, then you should have got that guy's name right. Or Alvin would not have run him before he could say what you wanted him to say because you weren't listening and got his name wrong.
A lot of times these callers will call on connections that aren't the best, and I heard Lee instead of Ray. I apologize to...
In other words, you're not accountable, are you, Jim Crane?
Yes, it was my fault, but do we have to kill the guy for me getting it wrong? I'm the only guy that knows that phone call now.
Kill what guy?
Kill...
You mean drop the hammer on the guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yes. Apparently, there's a precedent set. Alvin will run a guy if they correct me for getting their name wrong. So get his name right. You know this. He's got he's got seniority and tenure over you, Hawk. Alvin will always be right, and you will always be wrong. Even if you're right, you're wrong.
And I vehemently disagree on how quickly he ran the other guy with the funny Reese McGuire joke, too.
The two of you guys give each other the hands outside, and we'll see who comes back standing, and then we'll just go from there. That was really a bad segment. That was a bad 10 minutes of jungle time. I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry for everything. Bob Myers. I'm sure Bob Myers is very happy that we're running late now because of that. Y'all get your acts together, man. Rit's just sitting back there laughing like, man, good. I'm glad it's them. The only person enjoying that more probably is the big head, wherever the hell he is. He comes in once a week, and he's probably just having a good old time with it.